Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC, and I am taking a look back at 2024 of all the knives that were either purchased or gifted to me, or by me. And I'm having a really hard time trying to remember all the things that occurred. But, geez, it's been what a crazy year, including a couple of, or at least a grail. So we're going to take a look at some of the purchases that I made or some of the gifts that were given to me in 2024. So here are some of the CRKT budget models that I purchased this year that I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to get on top of and to purchase, and I'm so glad that I did. We have my two pyrites and the acacia or however you would say that. But these three are phenomenal budget-friendly blades. If you're looking for a budget-friendly blade, you can't go wrong with the CJRB Pyrite. This is the Pyrite. It's just a regular Pyrite. This is the drop point Pyrite. They have the Wharncliffe Pyrite. Now they have the Bowie style Pyrite. They have the Pyrite Light. They have the Pyrite Large. They have the Pyrite Small. You can't go wrong with the Pyrite. This one is the AR RPM 9 steel, drop point, button lock. I believe they're all at least a button lock, which this is the smoothest button lock that I have. It's just amazing. And for the price of this one, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's, I think, under $50. And it's just an amazing little blade. So if you're looking for a nice budget blade, definitely check out all the CJRB Pyrites. This is the CJRB Pyrite Light with the Wharncliffe, which they all come with. Nice forward choke-up position. Nice larger blade. Again, it's a button lock, and you have the FR. My brain's not working. You have the plastic handles, FRN handles, which are nice and contoured and comfortable and very, very budget friendly. You can tell already, I've already been using this in my pocket. The clip's a little banged up, but you know what? For $30, I mean, or under $30, this thing is a steal. So what a great deal. Again, nice smooth button lock. But again, CJRB is just killing it with that Pyrite. That Pyrite line of all the different blade shapes and everything else is just, they're amazing. And then they did basically a bar lock with a nice thinner, I guess let's compare that. I want to compare the blade shapes. So the blade shape on the Acacia is just a little bit different than the Pyrite. You got a little bit more of a belly on the Pyrite, a little bit longer tip on the Acacia as far as like design-wise go, but very much basically the same, except this has the opening hole and it is a bar lock, and that bar lock is very, very smooth when it comes to a bar lock. Again, you have the nice textured milled FRN scales, that deep carry pocket clip, and it's just an amazing. And I got this for, again, under $30 on Amazon of all places. So really check it out. They're doing some really amazing stuff over at CJRB. Two more I got this year was the Remt RTB-G, which basically means it's the G10 version of the RTB. And they have the titanium version, and this is the G10 version. And I got to tell you, this thing, that's a really solidly built knife from Remt. This is the only time I've ever had a Remt, and I'm really impressed if this is kind of a budget line that they have. It's a really, really great little blade. And it does everything it needs to do. You can tell I use it. It has that nice coating on the blade. I don't know what it is. I forgot when I looked it up what it was, but man, that thing is really, really pretty. You got the nice contouring on the G10 on the scales. It is contoured, so you can see it is rounded off, and it's really smooth in the hand. You got the speed holes in there, or just the holes that are relieving weight out of it. Deep carry clip, liner lock, and of course this one, because it has the little fruit toothpick or the fruit pick or whatever it is. Very interesting design. And what's funny is I have actually used that in my knife making, trying to scrape some little things off. So it came in handy. I mean, I can't say I haven't used it. I have used it, and it is very handy to have around. But the Remt RTB is an amazing, cool little knife at a reasonable price. If I do remember, I forgot the blade steel on this, but I'm sure you guys will remember and update that for me. Next up is the Vosteed Acorn. Man, I need to get some more Vosteeds. They just make really high quality product. One of my favorite knives in the collection is this, and this is the Nightshade. And I could not remember if I purchased this year or last year. I want to say I got it last year, but I got this when it first came out. This one is in 154 cm, but I can't talk about Vosteed without bringing up my Nightshade, because that is one of my favorite blades in the collection. But this one is quickly becoming another favorite. Again, the Vosteed Acorn, 14C28N steel. One of their budget models. They were running a sale on this one. I don't remember what I got it for, but it was a very reasonable price if I purchased it, because I'm just cheap that way. But you have that bent clip. You got the nice micarta, which is really grippy and wearing in nicely. The opening hole, it's a front flipper, which I can actually do, so that's a good thing. But yeah, the Vosteed Acorn is another great blade that I picked up this year, and I'm happy that I did. So one of the big things that happened this year is I got to get introduced to a South African knife company called Pickled Steel. And I've handled 3 or 4 of their knives now, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting some more in to take a look at. And I got to handle the Capilavaro, I believe is what it was, the Rhino and the Warhog. And I was decided I wanted to keep the Warhog for me, and I ended up giving away the Rhino, which was the big orange 14C28N blade that they had sent me to take a look at. But the Warhog is... This thing is so killer. I mean, look at that thing. Look at it. It's just a beast. And I absolutely love it. It's a D2 steel, which might necessarily be my favorite blade steel just because of where I live. But man, the coated blade helps. And it's just an amazing, amazing blade and design. And I can't wait to see what else they come up with for 2025, because I hear there's some new things coming. But gosh, this is the Warhog from Pickled Steel, and I'm really impressed with it. It's really smooth. It's a beast, and I really like this thing. And then they sent me this one to check out too. This is kind of a budget friendly. This thing is like $28, I think. And currently they are looking for a U.S. distributor, for somebody who's in the United States who can ship these from within. Basically, they'll ship you a bunch of knives, and then they'll ship that distributor a bunch of knives, and they'll just be responsible for shipping those off to any U.S. customers that are purchasing. It is a fairly new company out of South Africa. They're doing some really cool stuff, and this is the SWD, SWD edition Freya, and this is basically the Remet Peacock, I think, but they removed the flipper and did some other changes on it, and it is a solid knife for budget. D2 steel for 20 something dollars. You can't beat it. And Pickled Steel is doing some really cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to working with them in the future with something very, very special. But Pickled Steel is another great option. Another company that I got introduced to was Quiet Carry, and I wasn't introduced to it, but basically this came up. This is the Quiet Carry Chase, and they were running a sale, and I picked up this knife for just under $100. And the reason that I jumped on it was because this is LC200N steel, that nice stonewash blade, LC200N liners, G10, all stainless hardware, running on phosphor bronze washers. And this thing is completely made for saltwater conditions. And I necessarily don't work in saltwater, but I work outside here in Florida all the year long. And I'm dealing with water and some other chemicals. And so I needed something that, if it's going to be a rainy day, which is most of the time here in Florida, especially during the summer, I need something that I could throw in my pocket and I don't have to worry about it. And this has definitely, I had this in my pocket during hurricanes and everything else. There's no rust, there's no corrosion, there's nothing on this, dude. And I have definitely beat on it, and this thing just keeps on going. So I really, really enjoy the Quiet Carry Chase. And then the Quiet Carry Waypoint, this was gifted to me by someone really cool, Heyman, and he gifted this to me just because he's a really nice guy and he knows that I like this brand. This happens to be in Vanax steel, so again, another super high anti-corrosive blade, and really, really happy to have that in my pocket. So now for work, I have two options that I could throw in my pocket and never have to worry about if they're going to get wet, if something's going to touch the blade, wiping the blades off. They are completely corrosion resistant, and I could just go about my day and not having to worry about anything with these two. And I'm really, really happy to have these in the collection now because they are really awesome. Another really cool pickup that I got this year was the 80-20.5, the Demco 80-20.5. I always wanted one, and this is a budget version, and I was able to pick this one up also for under $100, which is absolutely ridiculous for what you're getting. This one is the AUS 10 steel. I know it's more of a budget steel, but it's the AUS 10 steel. It's not 20 CV or anything, but for AUS 10 and the shark lock and everything else quality that you get with a Demco, I jumped on the opportunity to be able to own one. I maybe one day will own some of the 20 or the higher grade steel, but God, I love the blade shape, the shark foot as they call it, blade shape. And I don't know, you have to experience the shark lock to really, really appreciate what it is. Just the mechanics of it and the audio sound of that lock is just, it's just awesome. Just the clicking and everything that comes involved with that. And it's so solid. I take this to work and I use that. If I needed a hard use knife, I have this. This would definitely do the trick. AUS 10 is not a bad steel. It's a good steel for what you get and for the price that I got it for. So I'm really happy to have one of these and looking forward to getting some more. And of course, that brings me to my Tempest knives. Honestly, I can't remember when I purchased this, but I want to say I purchased it this year. The Microburst. What an awesome knife. Totally underrated blade. 100% underrated. people don't talk about this enough, but my microburst is so solid and is such a fun knife to have in the pocket, and such a usable knife, such a user, such a knife I enjoy having. And this thing bit me pretty good not too long ago, but I still like it. But full four-finger grip, you get that nice choke-up position. The blade's not too big. And gosh, it's just such a user. It's such a good user, fidgety blade. Action is just absolutely spot on, amazing. Detent is awesome. And Casey over at Knives Fast and Tempest Knives is doing some really, really good stuff. I really like that blade. Nice stonewash they have on it. The nice swedge up at the top. And the microburst is such an awesome little blade. If you have never handled one, you got to handle one. You have the contoured micarta, which is super comfortable, and you could see that I had this in my pocket a lot this year because it's already kind of getting that nice worn-in color. I have not done anything to this micarta, just so you guys know. I haven't oiled it. I haven't done anything with it. That is just strictly my hand oils and probably a lot of sweat if that's been in my pocket. But really excellent blade. And then recently, I know this year, I picked up the Micro Jet, and gosh, another really awesome pickup for me. I really love the titanium, the anodized titanium handles with the micro milling. Super comfortable. Again, you get a nice little choke up position. You get 4 fingers on it. The jimping is right where you need it to be. I love the finish on that blade. It is really, really good. This is 154 cm, and I forgot what the microburst was. Don't cut yourself again. 14C. So this is in 14C 28N, and this is 154 cm on the microjet. Nice milled clip. The scales are very, very nice. Just barely rounded off, but super comfortable in the hand. And such a great size, perfect size for me. And the action again is excellent on this one. I love the low profile flipper. And you would think, oh, that's not going to be good. But I handed this knife to someone who's not a knife person, and he was able to flick it, no problem, the first time. I mean, it takes nothing to get that in. It's a nice light switch action, but oof. What an awesome little blade. And I have very much been enjoying these two for this year. Since we're talking Tempest Knives, Kooby sent this in, and this is the Kooby Dust Devil, but this is obviously made by Tempest Knives, but it's sold by Kooby. And this is a little fixed blade, and Casey over at Tempest Knives sent one in for me to review. And Kooby sent me one for me to check out and to review as well. And that's where I did the one upgrade that I wanted to do, which was the updated sheath. But God, what a cool little fixed blade. I have been carrying this thing a lot already. You can see the wear on the Kydex just from the belt buckle. And this has just proved to be an excellent little fixed blade. I've been taking this to work, putting it to work, and it's just an awesome little utilitarian blade for you to carry with you on a daily basis. So that was a cool gift, I guess, from Kooby. They sent it in for me to check out. So another cool pickup this year. So someone gifted me this, and this is the NAFS Lander 3, I believe. This is the Blade Binge Dark Matter Dark Mode version. Such a cool little blade. Gosh, I've been checking out NAFs from afar and just haven't pulled the trigger on getting one myself. And then War Room EDC, Chris Warris, he gifted me this. And just out of nowhere, just decided to gift it to me. And God, what a great guy. And I am so glad he did. This is a perfect little folder You guys know I like the smaller stuff, and this is just perfect. It's a perfect, I guess what Ben would say, a dad knife, and it is definitely a dad knife. You can pinch, get your finger up on the tip, which I know is important to him, and the action is just, again, sometimes bar locks are not my favorite, but that one is just so dialed. Of course, I fail it as soon as I say that, but it's so good. The action is so nice. Whether you're thumb flicking it or reverse flicking it, it's just really, really good. And it's just so smooth. The contoured carbon fiber is just so cool. That color is really, really nice. I love the way that pops. Deep carry clip. And this is definitely a winner that I was able to get this year, and someone gifted to me. So, so awesome. And 20 CV. It's 20 CV blade steel. Let's see if I get to focus. Come on, focus. Yep. So, anyway, what a cool blade. Awesome. And I'm so happy I was gifted this. Thank you, Chris Warris, War Room EDC. Check out his channel. He's starting his new channel is going to be doing some really cool stuff. So one thing, I got introduced to another new company this year, and this is Pham Monster. This is the Pham Monster Glideman. And Pham Monster I reached out to Pham Monster and was like, hey, I got this channel. Would you be mind to send something over? And they were the one company out of all the companies that was like, sure, we'll send you something. And I am now an affiliate of Pham Monster too. So you check the link in the description. You go to Pham Monster, click that link, and you can get 10% off with the code AriesEDC, all in caps, on one of these guys, or the other models that they have, which I'm going to be getting a chance to look at here in the next couple months. But this is the Glideman that they sent. I guess they know I like blue because that's an awesome blue. This is titanium. The blade steel is M390, which if you saw the video of me breaking down that box, very capable, and this is still razor sharp. And I have done nothing but done just a little stropping to it, and that was it. But very comfortable blade, nice size. Your thumb gets right up here on the top. You got that nice choke up position right there. Your thumb gets right there at the top of the blade, and it's just completely awesome to have. So I'm really lucky to be able to experience a Pham Monster, newer company coming out on the market with some really strong designs and some really strong materials that they are working with. So you got that full titanium, kind of a stone-washed blue handle. It is a frame lock, the milled clip, and action is really, really good. I mean, you can't complain about it. It's super smooth, running on bearings. So cool. I know you guys, look, for you to see the action, but I cannot do that with my left hand. I could do the flipper with my left hand, but I cannot do a reverse flick with my left hand, so you're going to have to deal with that view when I do it. So the Pham Monster Glideman, another cool pickup that I got this year. And last, but certainly not least, was my Grail pickup for this year. So Kooby Knives, and the division of Kooby called KB Knives has put out the Jake Hoback Sumo. And I was able to pick this up for right around just under, well, with tax and everything, it was right at about $200, which is an amazing deal for this knife. Especially since when Jake Hoback put out his, they were several $100s more than what I picked it up for. And Kelly White sent in her package of knives, and in there was the Jake Hoback version of it. And it was already a Grail knife. Actually, it wasn't even a Grail knife. It was a knife that was beyond Grail. There was no way I was ever going to be able to own one of those. But I loved the shape. I loved the design. I loved everything about it. But it was so far out of reach. It was one of those things where it's like, it'll never happen. So why even make it a Grail? Why is it even in the conversation? But I heard KB Knives was going to be coming out with their version of it, and then I saw the price at which they're going to be putting it at, and I jumped at the chance. Especially since everything on this knife is pretty much the exact same as the Jake Hoback version. It's just absolutely amazing. So this is the KB Knives Sumo, the Jake Hoback design in 20 CV, which is the same steel as the Jake Hoback version, full titanium frame, or, well, the titanium handles that are milled and just beautiful in every way, just the angles and everything. It is comfortable in the hand. For me, the clip does get a little bit down low on the handle. It gets right in there, but it's not like a hot spot. It's just you can kind of feel it a little bit. But perfect size blade for me, in my opinion. And if you needed to choke up, you can. You have that nice flat area right here to be able to choke up if you need to. And it is a button lock, and it's just so smooth. You have the thumb studs here that are triangular, which is a cool little design feature on that. It's just everything that I wanted in this thing, and I got it. It's so stinking cool. The shape of that blade, the shape of the handle, everything about it is just super. It's just everything that design on it is what attracted me. I guess I'm into these weird blade shapes, and it's just awesome. Just like, oh no, where is it? I'm right now, because I'm in the pass around group checking out that. I don't know what is with tall blades with the little weird shapes that I like. It's just, I really like those blade shapes. I don't know. I'm a sucker for that. But listen, I also like a nice little drop point, just like anybody else. So definitely a winner. But this thing was a bucket list item, or not bucket list, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It was one of those on the list, and I was able to pick it up, and I'm so amazed that I did. I still pinch myself every time I look at it that I actually have one in my collection. It's pretty crazy. And you can, I guess, use this as a flipper. It's not, I don't think it's intended for that, but it's a little sharp right there, but you know what? It works, and it's stinking cool. That's all. That's what I know. So I add that to my grail list, along with my Wii hyphen that I have. This was a purchase that I made at the end of last year. I think it was a Christmas gift for myself, and I was able to pick up the grail Wii hyphen. Just look at that thing. That thing is so stinking cool. And then, so that becomes a couple grails that I have, along with the Holy Nerd that I was able to pick up from TRM last year as well. And I'm hoping to add some more TRMs maybe in the upcoming year, as well as some other stuff that I have coming down the pike. So that's what I got for you guys today. A little look back at my journey. I may have missed one or two things, and if I do, I apologize. But, I can't. There's been so many things going on this year. I'm lucky I keep track of anything that's happened. It's amazing stuff. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment, or not. Again, the choice is always yours.